Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I would like to begin by acknowledging we're in Treaty 1 territory in the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. My name is Ron Merritt. I'll be your chairperson this afternoon. And introducing the panel members is Kathleen Garrity to my left, and to her left is Gisela Rempel. And our assessor this afternoon from the city of Winnipeg is Nathan Kupfer. And our recording secretary is Katie Sullivan. We'll be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested has been described in each application, and we'll limit discussions to those matters. The statements that the applicant or the assessor make at the hearing are sworn testimony, and anybody speaking in these matters must be sworn in. Please be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered market value as evidenced by the board. The board is appointed annually by City Council and is independent of it, along with the city administration. We make our decisions based on the evidence provided at the hearing and issue a written order that will be mailed to all parties. Please note that the board's decision in respects to application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to application for exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included in the board's order. In respects to the hearing this afternoon, we will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We'll then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that you may have, and then it'll be your opportunity to present your evidence. Each party will have the opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all evidence about the application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket this afternoon. The session will close after all applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decision. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live stream recorded and will be part of the public record. I'll ask our secretary to either swear in or affirm the applicant and the assessor.
Do you affirm? Yeah. Please state your name. Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. So you can just affirm like you did, or you can swear in the Bible. I swear?
No, right.
Affirm?
Yeah.
So please state your name.
Mustafa Shakar.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Katie, while you're up, you might as well grab his information and distribute it.
So 5 for all.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Katie? Okay. So what we'll do is we'll first hear from the assessor. He'll take you through your property and tell us how we evaluated your property and what the assessment is. So that'll be your opportunity to ask questions and then your evidence, okay? So the floor is yours, sir.
903 Beardmore Boulevard, parcel ID number 0306 8112700. It's in the Richmond West neighborhood area. It's a bi-level single-family dwelling constructed in 1985, 870 square feet of living area, full basement with basement finish, 4-piece bathroom and a 3-piece bathroom, central air conditioning, no fireplace and no garage, an assessed lot size of just over 4,000 square feet. Comparables 1 through 4 are all bi-levels situated in the Richmond West neighborhood area as well. Constructed between 1984 and 1985, similar to the subject. Comparables 2 through 4 all have basement finish and the same bathroom count as the comparable as the subject, while comparable number 1 has an unfinished basement and only 1 full bathroom. All the comparables, except for comparable 4, have central air conditioning, similar to the subject. Comparable 3 is improved with a fireplace, and none of the comparables have garages, similar to the subject. The assessed lot sizes for the 4 comparables range from a low of 4,024 square feet to a high of 7,870 square feet on comparable 4. Time adjusted sale prices for the four comparables range from a low of $269,500 for comparable number 1 to a high of $347,500, or a time adjusted sale price per square foot ranging from $309.77 to a high of $399.43. The 2020 assessment for the subject property is currently set at $300,000, $344.83 per square foot. When the value was originally mailed out to the client, or to the applicant, I believe he's in the process of finishing his basement. So the original value that was mailed out was at $276,000, and then once the basement finished and the 3-piece bathroom was added, that value was amended to $300,000. So that's what the 2020 assessment is set at. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Questions of the assessor?
So far not, but I have, I also compared a couple of.
Okay, but I just want,
The question?
do you have any questions in regards to what you just heard?
So far no.
No? Katie?
Have you inspected the property?
I have not.
And are there any pictures?
Our latest information was from when the home sold in 2013. I can read to you the description of the sales listing here. Beautifully updated, meticulously maintained bi-level, backing onto small park, bright open living room, dining room, and kitchen. Attention to detail includes newer windows, flooring, kitchen cabinets and appliances, mobile island, furnace, central air, fence, vinyl siding, porch and walkway and front landscaping, and interior painting. Partially finished insulated basement awaits your final touches. Front drive with plug-in, and that's all.
No pictures.
No photos, no. Oh, hang on. I did print off the listing. Yes, I can share it with you. So that's from 2013. It's 3 year more.
Okay.
Does he need to see, does Katie?
Yes, please. If
Okay.
you-
Is that Katie? Kathleen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Gisela?
I'm wondering if you would happen to know what the average increase was in the sale of homes in this area?
So this falls into market region 8, which if you'd like to refer to my map here, you can see is a fairly large market region.
Right.
It's essentially from, I believe this is Grant, and this is either Stafford or Keniston.
Okay.
It encompasses everything south of the city. It's our largest percentage increase over 2 years at 6.96%, just under 3.5 a year.
And would you happen to know, was there a building permit taken out for the basement completion?
I believe there was. Yes, issued June of 2016. The declared permit construction value was $10,000. The value for the basement finish, however, like I said, wasn't added until 2020, despite
Right.
the work being done sometime in 2019, according to my records.
Okay. And I just want to confirm, was the 2018 assessment, did you say 276,000?
No, the 2020 assessment was going to be
Oh.
276
Oh,
until the
before the
basement
basement
finished and
was-
the bathroom was added, yes. The 2018 assessment, obviously without basement finish and the extra bathroom, was 255.
Okay, thank you very much.
I just noticed that in your comparable number 1, which is similar to the subject, other than the rec room. So, and that sold in 16 for 257. So, does the rec room, add that much to the value? It's a very similar house. It's got no garage or similar lot, and and the only difference between the subject and comparable sale number 1 is that there's a rec room.
The basement finish, according to the permit, included the construction of a rec room,
Yep.
mechanical room, an office, a laundry room, and the bathroom as well.
I thank you. The floor is yours, sir. You can take us through your property and tell us what's what.
Would you mind if I add some context for this?
I'm sorry?
If I tell you some story behind this?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure, that's,
So
the
when I
floor is
bought-
yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, so when we bought, me and my wife, it is 2013, September, and the price for it was 269 for sure. But at that time, the property was like assessed through the city of Winnipeg's website. It was 33,000 at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after a few years, it seems like 255, and then jumped into 676. And then after the basement finish, it's jumped to 300. So when I compared with the 883 Boardroom Boulevard, before the basement finish, I was still above the that property's the assessment amount. It was 257,400. Like if you compare the all those facilities or all those factors, like number of rooms, unfinished basement, no garage, it's even comparable. And there is like a difference. I was sitting 276 and that was sitting 257 something. So my comparison, like my understanding is like before the basement finish, I was still higher, and after basement finish, because my factors are little change from like as you mentioned, it's comparable one. I compared with another one, 871 Boardroom Boulevard, and that has a little smaller area from me. So if you go to the second page of my document, you can see a comparison. Like I have added all the data sources and compare all those things here. So you can easily compare like how the rate changes from my property and the other properties. And also I have added two separate city of properties web-based printed copy. One for the September 20th, 2019, and the other one is November 29th, 2019, and you will see the price changed. So the previous price is showing 294,000 for 883 Boardroom Boulevard, and currently on November, the latest one shows 265,000. So I'm just really trying to understand like how these changes happened so quickly within this time period, like just a couple of months. And then definitely after analyzing all this or comparing all this information and your understanding and your assessment, I just requested to reduce the price. I mean, reduce the assessment value for my property, that's all.
You've done a lot of work here,
Yes, sir.
and I'm just trying to, so what have you concluded for value for your property then? What do you think the assessment should be?
To me, it at the current situation, it should be near about 280 maybe. Because previously I applied for the reduction on 276,000. So I actually applied for that value, and then when my after finishing basement, it's done, inspected by the city, and then it's revised and jumped up more. Then I have to trust and move my appeal from there to here on the current value.
All right, so that's your presentation?
Yeah, that's all.
Questions of the applicant?
Were you able to determine any comparable sales that would support an assessment in the 280,000 range?
So far, you mean like market value?
Market value, yeah, we're making
Then,
it.
Like when we are comparing, we say like we're not comparing market value, right?
We are comparing
We are.
market value. We're not comparing assessments.
Okay, so we all, I'm confused there. I thought like we're not comparing all those values that are published in the website or city's record, not the regular market prices.
We're testing your assessment
Yeah.
against comparable sales that have sold within the area within 2016 to 2018. But my comparable sales list are 4 similar homes that all sold within that time frame.
Mhm.
I'm using to say, okay, this substantiates our assessment in the 300,000 range.
Even like, I didn't see any sales record yet, that level, because I have to go and search again maybe. But so far, I think my house is over assessed.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
This home at 883 Beardmore,
Yeah.
I've noticed it has a gravel driveway. Does your home also have a gravel driveway?
Yes, yeah. And that, I believe that house is still, the sale sign is still on there. They have changed their outside in painting, they try to sell it.
They're trying to sell it again right now?
Yeah, and so far, my belief, they have the basement finished,
And that's why,
but they're not recorded.
well, your submission here, you're showing 2 different assessment records for Beardmore, one with the basement finish and one without the basement finish, and that's why the value changes from
Yeah, I just
265
try
to
to,
294.
yeah, that was my intention, to compare like how the changes happen between this and this.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why the value changes, because we went out and had.
Yeah, but that's like should be consistent, right? It was, like to me, it didn't, I didn't see any consistency or any kind of like, any sort of, what do you say? Like reasonably revised or reasonably assessed. I don't know, like whether you can give some thoughts on this, or maybe you can do some more revision. You can consider.
No more questions.
I think, Ms. Garrity, questions?
You mentioned that the 276 amount, the previous assessed amount, that you had questioned that. Did you go towards a,
Yeah,
maybe-
that to 76,000, like I actually appealed for that one.
Mhm.
Say for example, I haven't finished my basement. Then if I compare with the comparable one here, 883 Beardmore Boulevard, that has the same exact factors, but still that has, at that point, it was 257 something.
right, but when you appealed that 276 amount, what was the result of that?
It was not, I did, like my date was October 2nd,
Oh,
but
and that
before
was the
that, I
change
get
you
the
got.
revised
Okay,
value, so
I
I
got
moved from there.
I
So I didn't
understand.
get the chance to get ready for that one. By this time, I have another value.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier, I think, we talked about a permit being taken out to do the,
Yes, I took the permit.
and that was the $10,000 amount.
The declared construction value, yeah,
Yes.
that's 10,000.
I did mine myself.
And you believe it should be in the 280,000 range, I think
That's
is
my
what you
belief,
said.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rempel?
I have no questions, thank you.
I just have one question. You did apply for the permit, and who did the work? I think you just said yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a skilled laborman?
No, I took one course from Red River College about the handyman. And then I took webinar sessions through the online EDX. And then I learned about the electric things. I worked with the, like those inspectors, like who were there for different times. Like I got 5 inspection maybe, so I can remember.
So.
And one of my brother-in-law, he's a civil engineer. He worked here, so he also helped me.
So you were the apprentice?
I don't know, I tried
go for
because
it.
I thought like Canada is an opportunity for me for doing everything by myself, even my car and everything. I like that.
So what do you figure, how much you think you put into the basement?
Honestly speaking, the amount of money I spend here about.
Yeah, material and not the labor.
I'm
because-
talking about the materials.
Okay, material.
Yeah, just the materials. It's a little bit about 11,000 to 11,500.
Okay.
It's just little.
And then
more
you
because
had
the-
all your sweat equity, et cetera.
Yeah.
And you said you had some inspections because you took the
Yes.
permit out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you put in, 11,000 plus the sweat equity, so how much do you think that contributed to almost like the market value of your property? Because I'm saying that there's just one down the street at 883, okay, that's sold in 16, it's sold for 257, 400. So what do you, and the only difference between that house and yours is the rec room. So if you went to, so we're after market value, okay, as at April the 1st, 2018. So what do you think the value should be with all things considered?
You mean like finishing basement?
Yeah, what do you think the value should be?
In 2018, mine,
Yep.
because at that point I didn't have my basement finished, right? So if I go back to that level, like if the price for the other house is 257, I should go near about 265 something.
Okay, I don't have anything further. You want summation if you like?
Given the subject's own sale price, the cost of the materials that were put in, and then obviously the free labor, I'm not sure how an assessment of 260 something would be supported. I think we're in the right ballpark for the 300 range.
I thank you. Anything further? And you want to add anything further?
The information. So what I have,
Yeah, you can just, I'm just giving you the opportunity to summarize if you want.
at the end I can say like, I wish you should give me a reduction or a reduced value for sure. That's why I'm here and spend my couple of weeks to prepare these documents and compare everything. And yeah, I took today we have a lunch, Christmas lunch, so all my colleagues are waiting for me at the Granite Curling Club. So maybe I'm gonna go there.
Sounds like a good idea.
Well, that would be a good idea. Anyways, okay. I thank you very kindly for your presentation. Leave it with us and we'll give you results very soon.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for coming.
Thanks for the effort.
And thanks for your time and everything.
Brian, come on up.
Thank you, you too.
We'll get you sworn in, and then we'll deal with all the properties.
Do you mind if I just grab some water?
Go ahead.
So do you want to swear or affirm?
I will swear, please. Ryan Olveros.
You swear to the evidence you're about to present
Minto.
is
No.
the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, we'll go according to the docket, and the next one that appears here, well, it's 967 Minto Street, so whenever you're ready.
Mr. Chair, should
Yes.
I pass around my evidence?
Oh, yes, yes.
We'll get our girl to do that for you.
For sure.
Do you want to wait until, like,
You can give me
You
the
can-
the
Copy.
first.
just
Yeah.
do them individually, okay?
For sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Nathan, the floor is yours.
967 Minto Street, parcel ID number 130-990-69075. It's in the Sergeant Park neighborhood area. It's a two-story, single-family dwelling constructed in 2015, 1,286 square feet of living area, full basement with basement finish, one full bathroom, 3 half bathrooms with 2 showers, central air conditioning, no fireplace, and no garage. An assessed lot size of 1,903 square feet. Comparables 1 through 4 are in different neighborhoods, but they're all two-story single-family dwellings constructed between 2016 and 2018. Living areas ranging from 1,201 square feet to a high of 1,392 square feet. All of the comparables have unfinished basements. All of the comparables have between 2 and 3 bathrooms. None of the comparables have air conditioners, and similar to the subject, none of the comparables have garages. The assessed lot sizes for the 4 comparables range from a low of 2,125 square feet to a high of 2,492 square feet. Time adjusted sale prices for the 4 comparables range from a low of 254,400 to a high of 298,300, or time adjusted sale price per square foot from $203.66 to a high of $217.74. 2020 assessment for the subject property is currently set at $325,000 or $252.72 per square foot. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions of the assessor?
Yes, Mr. Comfort, have you inspected the property at all?
I have not.
Are you familiar with the neighborhood?
Reasonably.
Would you agree that the subject property is generally surrounded by lower priced homes?
I would see homes that are similar for the area, price for the area, as far as I know.
Do you recall the principle of regression in your past studies at all?
Principle of regression, yes, I believe I do. If you have, for example, if a home is best suited to have 3 bathrooms and it has 4 bathrooms, the amount of value that 4th bathroom is adding is diminished because it's already 3 bathrooms would be ideal. Is that correct?
I believe that's the law of likely diminishing returns. I think that more relates to that. My understanding of the principle of regression is a higher priced home in a neighborhood with lower priced homes, that lower priced homes would generally bring down the value of that home. That was my understanding, but I just wanted to kind of articulate on that. Other than that though, I have no further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Garrity,
No questions.
Ms. Rumpel?
Do you have any sales information on this at all? Like, did they purchase the lot and did they tear down the home that was there, or? Because I notice it's an infill home.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all infill homes.
Oh, they're all infill.
Yes. I don't have any specific sales information regarding this property. As far as I know, it's never been listed. I wasn't able to find anything on MLS for it. In my notes here. Not much. Declared permit value for the new build was $185,000 according to our records.
And what year was that?
2015.
Okay. Was that for just the house, or was that the house and the?
That would be just the house.
Just the
That's what
house.
you submit to planning, property, and development
Okay.
for the build itself. Yeah.
185, okay. Okay, that's all my questions, thank you.
Yeah, I thank you. I just noticed that the comparables that you're using here, 1, 2, and 3, there's a close range, but number 4 is going sort of downward. So I see the sale is in February of 2018, and it's similar to the subject. So is there a trend downward to that neighborhood, or?
Not so much the neighborhood. We see a lot of fluctuation with new home sales. There are a lot of little variables, things that can be included or not be included. Appliances are a good example. For this one in particular, you'll notice the sale price of $253,876 probably stand out for you. It's because the builder subtracted the GST and he submitted that to Manitoba Land Titles. So the actual MLS sale price for this house is $262.
Yeah, I see that it was built in 18.
Yeah.
Okay. So-
Also, I'd just like to point out, because I have the sales listing for it, this home has no landscaping, it has no parking pad, it has no fence. It's
Okay,
It's a
so
good
that
one.
would creep up
It would,
the value?
yes.
Okay, okay, I thank you. Your presentation?
The subject property located at 967 Minto Street, roll number 13-0990699075. It's currently assessed at $325,000. You're requesting this board reduce the value to $308,000. Apologies for the error for the 2019 assessment there. So again, the subject building, it's an infill home, and I'm on page 2 of my brief. Two-story detached residence located, again, 967 Minto Street in the Sargent Park area of Winnipeg. Has a total living area of 1,286 square feet and was built in 2015. The subject property features 7 bedrooms and 4 washrooms. So I'm going to just clarify the types of washrooms that are in this home. There are actually 2 full baths on the second floor. One is an ensuite. There's 1 half bath on the main floor and 1 full bath in the basement. The subject site is rectangular in shape and has an assessed land area of 1,903 square feet. Page 3 of my brief, that just is a summary of my analysis there. I'm just going to move on to page 4 right now just to explain my comparables. Alright, so the comparable sales that I've considered, it appears they are similar to, or almost identical to what Mr. Kupfer has presented. The total living area ranges from 1,201 square feet to 1,392 square feet. Comparables is, all newer homes with the exception of 433 Lakeside. No basement finish on comparables 1 to 3 and comparable number 5. 1397 Pacific Avenue has basement finish. These are all located in the west end of the city of Winnipeg. The range of the sale prices for each of these for these properties is $159.41 a square foot to $219.02 a square foot. The average time adjusted sale price per square foot is $201.65, and the median is $208.41. So based on comparable sales, we apply a rate of $208.41 per square foot. However, we do recognize that the subject property has basement finish and air conditioning, whereas the comparable sales do not have these features or both. So because of that, we adjusted this rate upwards 15%, which brings us to a sale price per square foot of $239.67 or $308,000 rounded. If you're interested in seeing where my comparables are, they're on page 7 of my brief, and I've provided just street view photos on pages 8 and 9.
Can you give us the new rate that you calculated, 239, I think you said?
$239.67 a square.
And 67 cents? And that's what you use for your 308? Yeah.
I'm sorry?
And that's what you use for your 308? Or, okay.
That is correct, yes.
And that is your presentation?
Yes, it is.
I thank you. Questions of the applicant?
Have you reviewed the sales listing for 1397 Pacific?
I believe I have, yes.
I have it here in front of me. It's an unfinished basement with no rooms in the basement. How did we end up with yes basement finish for this one?
Okay, that might be an error on my part then. I apologize for that. Yes, no, it does not have a finished basement.
Okay, full bath and half bath, correct?
I have a listing here. I'm just going to data entry here.
Just make sure. I guess it could have sold twice really quickly and I might have missed it, so let's just confirm if you got the listing there that it's unfinished.
Yeah, I also confirmed that it is unfinished.
Okay. Have you made any consideration for landscaping for any of these comparables, or any notes about them? Anyone that best compares to the subject?
I have not.
Okay. Can you describe the landscaping of the subject at Minto?
I inspected the property in near the end of 2018 there. I believe the front is fully landscaped. The back, I believe that does have a parking pad there.
That's what I can recall from my inspection.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Garrity?
I don't know if this is of the appellant or not, but the comment about the house only being sold, like the value of the house only being $185,000 in 2015, you mentioned?
Declared construction costs. Yeah.
Right.
Take it with a grain of salt. It's something that's submitted before the actual building.
But how then do we calculate the lot to bring it into line with the rest of these figures?
What sort of
Well, you're
adjustment would you
saying,
make for the lot
well, you're
size?
saying this is a house only, so what would the lot? I'm not clear on it. If I was clearer, I could probably ask a better question, but
I think, Katie, that the only information that you have is the permit of 185. And you have to figure out what the land is worth.
Unless
that's
our
what I'm trying to.
Unless,
applicant knows what the
unless
value
it's
is.
recorded in here.
I don't have the recorded land value, but if you're adding land plus the building cost, then we're talking about cost-based appraisal, and that's not what we're doing here. We're using direct comparison,
Right.
right, based on the comparable sales.
Right, but the sales do have land in them. So that's
Yes.
what I'm not, I can't do any calculating based on that, because it doesn't have any land in it. Do you have an idea of the land value?
So I just know the total construction costs. I interviewed my client, the total construction costs in 2015 was 300,000. I believe that is what the 2018, the 2018 assessed value was based on when we appealed
And how much was
last
that?
cycle. Sorry,
How much was it, you said?
300,000,
Including the lot,
including, I believe so, yes.
so with a roughly 185,000 build cost, so the lot cost would be about 115. Or the building cost probably was slightly higher than 185, and the lot might have been slightly lower.
I didn't get an exact breakdown for it.
That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Ms. Rempel?
Yes, I'm looking at this picture in your assessment summary,
Yes,
and you indicated that many of the houses that are all infill houses on this particular street are valued less than the subject house?
I was
Like
just,
they have lower assessments than the subject house?
yes, so I took a quick look at that.
Is this a single-story house beside the subject property?
Wish I expanded that view more just to go with my phone. I can't recall if that's a single story or two-story home there.
So you have been to the property though, you said?
I have, yes.
Okay. Are the homes similar on the street, or are they quite varied?
They are, when I was there, and it was about a year ago now, they were definitely older homes. I don't recall seeing too many other infills within there as well, so.
Which is why I had to go outside the neighborhood area to
Right,
find other
okay.
infills. There's
Me as
just
well.
an overview if you want to see. I think one house beside it's a 2-story, and I think the other is a 1-story.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Oh, maybe the
You
others
keep it.
want to see, yeah.
Keep it.
That's all my questions, thank you.
I just noticed that you have used probably for the comparables that the city used. The only difference is Langside.
Yes.
So do you feel like Langside is equivalent location-wise to your property on Minto? Just a general
Getting more into
question.
the city center, I know as you move west towards the west end, I know that the quality of the neighborhood tends to rise heading west.
All right. Summation on either party?
Not so much a summation, just a clarification. When Ryan was asking me earlier about the value of surrounding properties, it is of course a higher value property, given that it's an infill, it's a newer home. The majority of these homes were built 80 to 100 years ago, so yes, it is a more valuable property than the neighbors.
I thank you. Final word? Summation,
No,
if you want. Okay.
Mr.
Um,
Chair,
Yes,
May
ma'am?
I ask one further question of the
Certainly.
assessor? I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just wondering if you could tell me what the increase in the sales value of homes in, I guess it's Sergeant Park is the area.
I'm calling market region 4, so 3.55% over 2 years.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay. We'll read into the record 18 McGinnis Place, okay, you'll have to read that in. I know what the applicant wants, but for our purposes, read it into the record. The roll number and
Number 8, you mean? Or where are we?
number 10,
Sorry.
number 10,
So we're
item
done
number
with
10,
that. Okay.
We're done with 9.
McGinnis,
Number 10.
number
18
10,
McInnes Place.
yeah.
Parcel ID number 140-9811800, 18 McInnes Place. It's in the Inkster Gardens neighborhood area. It's a one-story, single-family dwelling constructed in 1983, 1,273 square feet of living area, a full basement with basement finish, 1.5 bathrooms, central air conditioning, 2 fireplaces, and a detached multi-garage. The assessed lot size of the subject property is 5,531 square feet with park influence. And the 2020 assessment is set at $351,000 or $275.73 per square foot.
I thank you. Questions?
No.
No?
Nothing.
Any questions, panel members? The floor is yours, Ryan.
So at this time, we would just request for 18 McGinnis Place to confirm the assessed value. I do just have documentation here to distribute,
Okay?
Yep.
Katie,
just
can
as a
you-
formality.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think that concludes that part. So we'll go to item number 11, which is 26 Marydale Place. The floor is yours, sir.
26 Marydale Place, parcel ID number 050009249500. It's in the River Grove neighborhood area. 2-story, single-family dwelling constructed in 2007, 1,826 square feet of living area, full basement with basement finish, 1 full bathroom, 3 half bathrooms, and 1 shower. No central air conditioning on record. 1 fireplace, an attached multi-garage, and a lot size of 4,865 square feet. Comparables 1 through 4 are all in the River Grove area. They're all 2-story, single-family dwellings constructed between 2008 and 2010. Living areas ranging from a low of 1,698 square feet to a high of 2,098 square feet. All comparables have full basements with basement finish. Bathroom counts ranging from about 3 to 4. All comparables have central air conditioning. All comparables have a fireplace similar to the subject, and all comparables have the attached multi-garage. Assessed lot sizes range from a low of 4,457 square feet to a high of 4,905 square feet. Time adjusted sale prices range from a low of 410,900 to a high of 465,500, or time adjusted sale price per square foot ranging from $217.03 to a high of $259.13. 2020 assessment for the subject property is currently set at $428,000 or $234.39 per square foot. Thank you.
I thank you. Questions of the assessor?
Yes, please. All right, so, Mr. Cupper, I'm looking at your comparable number 1 here, 3 Marydale Place. Relatively similar to the subject property, there's about a 40 square foot difference between the two of them there. The subject property doesn't have central air conditioning, whereas comparable number 1 does have air conditioning. So can I ask why the subject property is assessed based on comparable number 1? Can I ask why is the assessed value higher than the first comparable that you have there?
Then the sale price?
Yeah, than the first comparable. You have 410, then again, they're relatively similar, so I'm wondering how much, I guess a better question is, how much weight have you put onto your first comparable there?
The only real difference in the major characteristics, other than the air conditioning that you point out, would be the external corner and the light traffic being a slight negative influence, and like you said, about 400 square feet of lot size, so I see the two properties as relatively comparable.
No further questions.
Ms. Garrity?
No questions?
Ms. Rimpel?
Yes, I'm looking at the map that you supplied, and I noticed that the subject property is a pie-shaped lot. And it's in the middle of the block, whereas a couple of your comparables are on external corners. And so I'm assuming that this would be considered to be a more valuable property than some of your comparables?
Ever so slightly. Our mass appraisal model, the tribute, again, it depends on the value of the property, but about 5,000 for a light traffic influence for being on the corner like that. And again, with the lots, say some people would prefer that shape of lot over other people. But again, that 400 square feet of extra lot size is a very minor adjustment.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions.
Mr. Comfer, I guess I noticed, comparable cell number 4, it's on the same street, on the same side of the street. But it talked about hydro transformer. Is there a hydro transformer on the property, like a little box there? Or
Yeah, those little green
fairly
boxes.
box?
Yeah.
Okay. And it talked about telephone and school. So I don't know is the school close by or?
It's part of the lot that it's backing onto there.
Okay.
If you look on my map.
Behind there?
Yeah.
Behind
there.
okay. That's the school
Yes.
behind there? So is that like the grounds, or is there an actual, like, how close,
Is
to the
building-
subject? Or is it a playground?
Is
or-
it an elementary school?
I only took an overhead snapshot of the subject property, unfortunately,
Okay.
not of that comparable.
Okay.
So I can't guarantee one way or the other,
Yeah.
whether it's backing up to the school, or just the yard.
Okay. But I just noticed that it is very nice compared to some of the other houses on the street, because it's sold for like $460,000. Like
It's
has
a,
it got a pool or anything?
if I may, it says right in the remarks, actually, it was a military
Yeah.
transfer. It's sold in 2 days on the market, so it was a
Oh.
for sale, that's why the.
What was that again?
Military transfer, 2 days on the market.
Okay,
Yeah.
2 days. So is it like guaranteed sales or?
Listed for $459.9, purchased for $460 2 days later, yeah. Somebody was quick to jump on that, and they knew a good value, yeah.
Okay. Did that say that on the MLS or something like that?
It says it in the, yeah,
Okay.
it works.
Okay. Now we're ready for your presentation.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
The subject property, 26 Marydale Place, roll number 05-009249500. We're asking this board referring to page 1, to reduce the 2020 assessed value from 428,000 to 405,000. Page 1, you could also see that I provided a photo of the subject property. Moving on to page 2 of my brief, the subject building, it's a 2-story residence located in the River Grove neighborhood of this city of Winnipeg. The property has a total living area of 1,826 square feet and was built in 2007. The subject site is a pie-shaped lot with an assessed land area of 4,865 square feet with R1M residential zoning. Page 3 of my brief just goes through a summary of how we came to our valuation. I'm just going to move over to page 4 of my brief. So these sales I considered are located in the River Grove neighborhood as well as the River Bend neighborhood. As you can see on my map of the comparable sales on page 7, River Bend, River Grove, they're just across the street from each other. So looking at the comparable sales, the total living area ranges from 1,617 square feet to 2,098 square feet. The years built are relatively similar, 2004 to 2008. They all have basement, each comparable has basement finish. Comparables 1 to 4 and number 6 have central air conditioning. Comparable number 5 does not have air conditioning. Each has a fireplace and all have a double detached garage. The lot size ranges from 4,394 square feet to 5,454 square feet. I've included comments that I found necessary for, I've included comments for those comparables that I find necessary. So the comparable sales has a time adjusted sale price per square foot range of $191.57 a square foot to $240.32 a square foot. The average time adjusted sale price per square foot of the comparable sales is $221.12 a square foot, and the median is $223.73 a square foot. Based off of this, we have applied a per square foot rate of $224 a square foot to the subject property. However, we made a downward adjustment of a lump sum of $4,000 to reflect the lack of air conditioning. It seems to be standard in this neighborhood to have air conditioning in the homes. Therefore, we have arrived at a market value of $405,000 or $221.80 per square foot. Photos of the comparable sales can be found on pages 8 to 10, just if you want to refer to those. And that concludes my presentation.
I thank you. Questions of the applicant?
Yeah, is there a listing for 39 Carsdale? Why did that one go so low?
39 Carsdale.
Appears to be the oddball based on your comps and my comps.
Didn't see anything in particular with that sale that would have brought it down that low. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything atypical about the sale here for 39 Carsdale.
Did you make note of any influences, property influences, or any of them backing onto commercial buildings or anything like that? I can just see from the map, it looks like it's getting pretty close to Main Street there.
I didn't make note of any of that, no.
Have you inspected the subject property?
I just did an exterior, just a drive-by.
Okay, so not aware of any interior renovations then?
No.
Okay. Okay, that's all my questions, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Garrity?
No questions.
Ms. Rempel?
I have no questions, thank you.
Yeah, I noticed, I guess, in the previous, the way you're concluding value, you're basing it on a square foot rate.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you think that that is an accurate way to evaluate the properties?
That was my understanding of how we come to the conclusion for the assessed value of
So,
the subject properties in question.
yeah, well, they're normally, they're a check, but maybe you should almost pinpoint, you know, the value according to what they sell for, comparable, you know, sales. So I see that you are using, again, the city's, you know, comparables, 1, 2, and 3, but you've added some new ones. But, you know, if you look at sale number 4, yours, it's similar to the subject property. Okay, so, you know, if you look at the sale price per square foot before a time adjustment, okay, it's $224, which comes in line with what you're doing, but, you know, like you concluded, I think, 223,073 cents, correct, per square foot? But then you did the $4,000 adjustment.
Correct, yes.
So, but I'm just wondering, when you conclude value, shouldn't you be looking at, you know, comparable sales 1, 2, and 3? Because they're, you know, close to the subject property, maybe a little more superior, like the 400 and the comparable sale number 3, it's at the high, so, you know, of $460,000. So did you investigate that sale at all? And I think we had talked about that, right?
That was
Sorry.
the military
Yes.
transfer,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So, so going back to, you know, comparable cell number 1 and number 2, they're close range, very close range.
Yes.
So, but I don't, you know, I guess it's fair to do, but I don't, anyways, I'm just, yeah, I don't like doing that way. There should be like checks and balances. Okay, so.
Okay.
Anyways, that's all I have to say. Summation, either party?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll go to Saul Miller Drive, number 83. Whenever you're ready.
Sawmiller Drive, parcel ID number 05-0038-35500. It's in the River Grove neighborhood area. It's a one-story, single-family dwelling constructed in 1993. 1,671 square feet of living area, full basement with basement finish, 1 full bathroom, 2 half bathrooms with 2 showers, central air conditioning, no fireplace, an attached multi-garage, and a lot size 7,382 square feet with a commercial influence. Comparables 1 through 4 are all in the River Grove area. They're all one-story, single-family dwellings constructed between 1987 and 1998. Living areas ranging from a low of 1,463 square feet to a high of 1,968 square feet. Comparables 1 through 3 all have basement finish, while comparable 4 does not. Bathrooms are all between 2.5 and 3.5 bathrooms. All comparables have central air conditioning. All the comparables have fireplaces, while the subject actually does not. All 4 comparables have attached multi-garages, while comparable 1 also has a small detached single garage. Lot sizes for the 4 comparables range from a low of 5,965 square feet to a high of 7,867 square feet. Time adjusted sale prices for the four comparables range from a low of 375,000 to a high of 436,200, or time adjusted sale price per square foot ranging from a low of $208.43 to a high of $288.72. The 2020 assessment for the subject property is currently set at $444,000, or $265.71 per square foot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Questions of the assessor?
I have no questions.
Security?
Just the only question is regarding the lot size versus, I guess comp number 3 seems to be the closest. What value does that have, the fact that it's so much larger a lot? Or is that not a significant difference?
Yeah, it's certainly more desirable to have that extra lot size. I'm not really prepared to throw out a value attached to it at this point, but it is something that makes it superior.
Okay, thank you.
I thank you. Ms. Rempel?
Yes, I'm looking at the subject property and your comparison number 2, and I see that they both have a commercial influence.
Yes.
Would you happen to know what the commercial influences are for those two properties?
They both.
Is there,
Yeah, so they're separate. They're different commercial influences. The subject property backs onto a mobile home park.
okay,
I've got a photo here.
now I know
Going
what
to
that
share
is.
so you can see. Whereas comparable number 2, I believe, backs onto an auto repair shop on Main Street.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions.
I would assume, Nathan, that the 204 sale was probably land. Is that correct or not?
Not correct.
No, okay. Okay. And, I see that in your comparables, you know, I look at the prices before, time adjustments, et cetera. Like I say, the close range for comp 1 and 2, close, but then, and 4 also. But the 375 for comp 3, I don't know, and that sold in 2018, so it seems to be a little low. When you look at the assessment for the subject. Plus, if you analyze the whole sort of thing, I don't know how you get up to 444. I know it's model driven.
Yep.
Okay, so, but, you know, when you have, it's nice to do comparables that show a nice close range, if at all possible,
Sure.
or square footage. So I don't know, you know, maybe comment in regards to sale number 3, you know, which is in the area, but is it,
Smaller space, smaller land.
Smaller space. I'm willing to share the I have the MLS listing here with me as well, which I'd be happy to leave with you guys. I'll just read from it.
yeah,
Price well under assessment.
yeah,
Very well built and
Yeah.
spacious bungalow in the heart of River Grove available
Yeah.
now. It's an ideal family home and has much to offer. The main floor boasts a spacious formal living room and dining room, generous oak kitchen with lots of storage and counter space, breakfast nook, large and cozy family room with gas fireplace, 3-season sunroom, generous master suite with walk-in walk-in closet and a 4-piece ensuite bath with jetted tub, 2 generous spare bedrooms, 4-piece full bath and main floor laundry. The lower level is ready to be your dream space.
there a list price on it?
List price was $409. And it
409?
dropped, and then it sold off MLS, according to my records here. So
Okay.
the listing, it was either withdrawn or ran out, and then somebody came along afterwards and bought it for that sale price.
So that wouldn't be a private sale or anything like that, I guess? No, or possibly, eh?
Could
Like,
be.
I'm just wondering where the 375 comes from, because, you know, land titles are involved, et
Yeah.
cetera, so.
375 should be a good number. If it was, it likely was a private sale, but
Yeah.
as it was listed publicly and we have pretty recent information on it, we will take that into our model. As long as it's not between family members or some sort of related sale, in which case we're pretty good at identifying those and taking them out. But just to finish my point here, the home had been, it's largely original. Back to 1991 when it was constructed, the remodels.
In River Grove, or River Grove Drive, is that a busy street? Or is that incorrect? River Grove Drive?
Where,
River Grove's an area, isn't it?
Yes, we do have,
I'm sorry.
there's no River Grove Drive?
Yeah, River Grove Drive is my comparable
Oh,
number
sorry.
one.
Oh, yeah,
And
okay.
we have light traffic attributed to that,
Oh,
so
okay.
it does see some traffic.
Okay, oh, I see, yeah, I was getting mixed up with the Red River Boulevard.
And this 11 Meadowcrest Bay, just to finish off, the upgrades are listed as an updated high-efficiency furnace, updated shingles, soffits, and fascia, and metal-clad windows.
Okay.
The rest appears to be original.
Yeah, okay. Ryan, your presentation.
Getting your steps in today.
Yep. 10,000 today.
Thanks, Kitty. Thank you. The floor is yours, sir.
Alright, so as you can see, I've structured my my briefs here similar to each other. So going to page 1, 83 Sawmill Drive, roll number 05-003835500, built in 1993. Total living area 1,671 square feet. We are requesting this board to reduce the assessed value from $444,000 to $426,000. Moving on to page 2 of my brief, you'll see here that I have made a comment. There have been no major renovations done to the building other than repainting of the exterior in 2019. I believe it's more of a purple color now. I did drive past the property last week. Subject site, it's irregular in shape with an assessed land area of 7,382 square feet with R1M residential zoning. Page 3, that's just a summary of how I concluded my value again using the same methodology of sale price per square foot. So I've identified 4 comparable sales again, River Grove and the River Bend area. Now, I understand that there's a concern with using, from what I've heard so far, I understand that there's a concern with using homes with it that are in a different neighborhood, but I would like this board to consider that these 2 neighbors are just across the street from one another. So, the years built of the homes range from 1993 to 2004. The total living area ranges from 1,355 square feet to 1,667 square feet. All have basement finish with air conditioning. All comparables to 4 have a double detached garage with the exception of comparable number 1 has a double attached and single detached garage. The lot areas range from 4,918 square feet to 7,012 square feet. Written some notes from the MLS listing with this chart I have of my sales. So the comparable sales, they indicate a time-adjusted sale price per square foot range of $241.18 to $261.67 a square foot. The average sale price per square foot is $253.23. and the median is $255.03. So just based on these comparable sales here, again, I've provided the location of each of the comparables on page 7 and with photos on pages 8 to 9. We're asking this board to reduce the assessed value to $426,000 or $255.03 a square foot.
I thank you, sir. Questions of the applicant? Nathan?
Sort of the same question as last time. Any influences we should be aware about for your comparables here that aren't listed on my sheet?
I haven't listed any influences.
Correct in assuming you weren't able to identify any other comparables with a similar lot size, since 576 River Grove?
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, no questions. Thank you.
I thank you. Ms. Garrity?
No questions.
Ms. Rempel?
Yes, I'm looking at comparable sale number 1, 576 River Grove,
Yes.
and it indicates that it has got a attached double garage and also a detached single garage.
That's correct.
And where is the detached single garage located?
Alright, so.
Do you know?
Just gonna refer, just quick look at my photo here. 576 River Grove, so it is to the left of the home, just behind it, from what I saw from the aerial maps.
Oh, okay, so on this side of the home, where the tree is.
That's correct, yes.
Get
There's actually access off of just a separate street there.
there. Okay.
Because it's a corner
Oh, they're
property.
on a
Yes.
corner,
Yeah.
okay, okay. I was just trying to figure
Yeah.
out how that would
Yeah.
work. Thank you, that's all my questions.
Ryan, I noticed that I guess, it's hard to tell on your comparable map as to where the comparables are, okay? They're a little, they're color-coded, but I noticed, I guess Ben, and I guess it's Murray are across the highway on the other side, eh?
Yeah.
It looks that way,
And Wellwood too.
and Wellwood too. So there's a nice little pocket for where the subject is. So,
So are you trying to, like, just establish the
well, I'm
location there?
just trying to say that, if you're going to do comparables, they should be in the River Grove, whereas the other ones are in Riverbend, are they not?
That's correct, yes,
Okay,
but,
so is there a difference between? I think probably River Grove is more established compared to Riverbend. They weren't built at the same time, as far as I know.
yeah, I guess that would play an influence into that as well.
Like I say, Murray is across the way there, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is according to the map
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So you didn't do any adjusting in regards to, location-wise, or, like I say, when people say, I live in Riverbend or I live in River Grove, no, you don't figure there's a difference?
I figured that there's a difference, but I did also notice that, again, this property backed onto a trailer park, or a mobile home park, which I would see as generally a value negative to the property. It depends on preferences of homeowners, though.
And I see that Wellwood Place is built in 2004 compared to the subject that was 93, eh?
Yes,
And
2004.
and Murray's a little older too, eh?
Yes, but that, it is a little older, but we'd have to look at the upkeep of the homes as well.
Okay.
And 46 Wellwood, just note, it is, again, it is a newer home. Living, it is smaller than the subject property, so less than
Okay.
the assessed value.
Okay, good. Summation, either party?
No, thank you.
Okay, Ryan?
No, thank you.
Okay. We'll go to Mark Pierce Avenue, 467,
478?
478. What did I say? Okay. The floor is yours, Nathan.
478 North Pierce Avenue, parcel ID number 04-000-541-500, in the Rossmere neighborhood area. It's a one-story single-family dwelling constructed in 1959. A living area of 1,064 square feet. Full basement with some basement finish. Full bathroom, a half bathroom with a shower. Central air conditioning, no fireplace, and a detached single garage. Lot size of 6,047 square feet. Comparables 1 through 4 are all in the Rossmere area. They're all one-story single-family dwellings, similar to the subject, constructed between 1960 and 1965. Living areas ranging from a low of 1,016 square feet to a high of 1,194 square feet. Comparables 1 through 3 all have basement finish, while comparable 4 does not. Comparables 1 through 3 all have the same bath count as the subject, while comparable 4 only has the one full bathroom. All comparables have central air conditioning, similar to the subject, and none have fireplaces. Comparables 1 and 4 have detached single garages, similar to the subject, while comparables 2 and 3 have multiple garages. Or larger garages, I should say, multi-garages. The assessed lot sizes for the 4 comparables range from a low of 4,997 square feet to a high of 6,047 square feet. On comparable 4, the exact same as the subject. Time adjusted sale prices for the 4 comparables range from a low of $314,300 to a high of $323,800, or a time adjusted sale price ranging from a low of $271.19 for comparable 4 there without the finished basement, to a high of $309.35 on comparable 1. The subject itself sold within the reference period in 2017 for $328,500. The 2020 assessment for the subject property is set at $319,000, or $299.81. Given that the home sold for above the assessed value, the department applied under section 43(3) of the Municipal Assessment Act a notice of request to increase the assessed value. Thank you.
Nathan, I haven't run across this before. I can't remember what it was, but are you seeking an increase then?
Yes, sir.
Okay, to the sale price there?
To the 319, or sorry, from the 319
Yeah,
to the
to
time adjusted sale price.
328,500?
Time adjustment 332
332?
with the time adjustment. Yes.
Okay. And what assessment, I mean, what act is that again?
43(3). Municipal assessment.
43.3? Just tell me a little bit about that. I can't remember. I don't have my book with me.
I'm just looking it up.
Okay, yeah. Notice of request for increased assessment, okay.
If an application by a person other than the assessor puts at issue the assessor.
Sorry, go ahead.
The assessor wishes to request the board to increase the assessed value instead of filing an application under section 42(1. The assessor must, at least 10 days before the hearing of the application, which I did, file with the board a written notice of his or her intention to seek an increase.
Okay,
and give a real copy of the
I
notice.
see here, it's here. Okay. Okay, so that
I don't
was,
have that, right?
no, I don't.
It's listed here though. Number 3. Yes. Yeah. You're keeping it interesting.
Okay, good. Okay, you can hang on to that. Oh. So everything was done correctly? Okay. Ryan, comments, any questions?
Yes, I have questions. Mr. Comfort, you and I had a bit of a discussion regarding the sale of this property, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. And I mentioned to you that there was an atypical motivation with regards to the sale price. You do recall that?
You did, yes. This was after I'd already filed to increase
Right,
the
yes.
assessment.
Mhm.
You made mention that the owner was in a rush to purchase a home and felt like they'd overpaid for the house.
Yes, that is correct. Again, I apologize for mentioning that to you after. I just wasn't able to get to the.
That's okay.
So your sales here, I'm just looking at them. Comparables number 2 and 3. I was reviewing, quite a number of sales within the subject neighborhood here. Pulled a number of them, as you can see. Didn't have time to go through all of this, but from what I saw, there was a number of sales that sold well below 300,000. I understand that it appears that you found sales that support the increase in assessment. But again, just looking at comparables number 2 and 3, can you comment as to why you would have chosen comparables 2 and 3 when there's multiple properties that I have seen on MLS where the subject property was similar and they all had single detached garages too? Did you consider any more homes with single detached garage? It would make the comparables, would make the sales a bit more comparable to the subject.
I did not put a lot of weight on the difference between the single garages and the double garages. My focus was on proximity, age built, upgrades, and living area, I would say, as well as having that finished basement, because my comparable 4 has no finished basement. I wanted to make sure I brought at least 3 that did, similar to the subject.
Okay, no further questions.
I thank you, Ms. Garrity.
You mentioned that you're wanting this increase, and you've got a time-adjusted sale price. Can you tell me how you calculate that? Because I'm doing my calculation and I'm not sure if I'm using the same method. So you started with the 328.5?
Yeah, so the time adjustment is done based on our assessment increases. So if an area increases by 4% over 2 years, and the home sells midway through that cycle, we'll take 2% and increase it to the market date, essentially.
Okay, I tried doing that and I don't come to the same figures as you. That's why I
What percent were
wondered.
you using?
I used 3.5 at one point, then I went to the 2.
Where Pierce, it's in market region 2, which is 2.36. So you go 2.36 divided by 24 times the amount of months up to the sale. Sale date,
Okay, that's even more difficult.
yeah. That's how I do it anyways.
Okay.
But this is all obviously automatically computed by our.
Okay,
yeah.
I was close, but I wasn't on there, so I just thought I would check how you did it, okay. And you are below the averages that you've put in here as comparables for the square foot price. Your original one was lower, but now it's, with that adjustment, it's higher than
your average?
Yes, and I'll point out, this isn't obviously the average for the area for these types of homes. These are all well-upgraded homes, as the subject is a well-upgraded home. The average 1,000-square-foot bungalow in this neighborhood doesn't go for $320. The well-upgraded ones do, and this is a well-upgraded property.
Thank you. That's all my questions.
I thank you, Ms. Rempel.
Yes, I noticed that 470 Mark Pierce Avenue is on the same street as the subject property from your map. They're just one house apart.
Yes.
And it seems that they're fairly similar except for the fact that the basement is not completed on 470 Mark Pierce Avenue. Would you say there's an average cost you would apply to having a finished basement in your home?
Depends on so many different factors. I'm hesitant to
How
throw
much
it-
of it is
hesitant
finished?
to throw in an
Yeah, okay.
average, yeah. When it was finished as well, if it was finished back in 1960 when the house was built, or if it
Right.
was finished 10 years ago.
In 1980, I see.
Right, you know, there's a lot of different factors that would go into that. I will say the 470 Mark Pierce, the main floor, it is very well updated, it shows very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you viewed the property?
Only the MLS listing, it was a
MLS.
public sale, so I would
Okay.
have that, as well as you can see in our sales here in 2015, the previous sale. Essentially somebody bought it in 2015, did a ton of renovations, and then achieved that sale price at $328,500 and was probably pretty happy about it.
Can you tell me, do you know how long the subject property was on the market before it was sold?
So in keeping with what Mr. Oliveros said, only 6 days on market. It
6
does appear
days.
like it was snatched up pretty quickly. Listed for $299,900. So the buyer bid $28,000 over the asking price.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, that's all my questions.
On that subject, would you happen to have a copy of the listing or anything like that?
Yep.
Just maybe, because it's really different, yeah.
Yeah, you can keep it.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm just gonna take a quick.
yeah. Have you been to the property at all? Nathan?
I have not, no.
No, not a drive-by or anything?
Unfortunately not, no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's just read this together here. Okay, so it was listed here, and then it sold like 6 days later. Okay. Yeah. You want this back, Nathan?
You can keep it if you like.
Okay. Okay. All right. I just had it sounds like there was a bidding war, and they definitely wanted this house. Do you know anything about, whether anything was included, like stove, fridge, or?
It would be on the listing there.
Okay.
I think it shows that.
Yeah.
The section with goods included at the bottom there.
Okay, upright freezer, yeah, second fridge in basement. Blinds, drapes, dishwasher, refrigerator, freezer, garage door opener, remotes, microwave stove, the furnishings, and yet the window coverings and the washer. Okay. But that's pretty standard, isn't it?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Chair, sorry, if I could just interrupt for 1 second.
Yep.
I'm just concerned about privacy, just because I know these MLS listings, they are not supposed to end up on public record, just because there's things, not to try to,
Okay.
not to
Then,
alert
I
anyone
think
or anything.
what we'll do though is we'll give this back to the assessor then.
Well,
Yes.
they won't end up anywhere
They
that
won't end
anyone
up in
can
the
see them.
file or anything?
They stay in the file.
Okay.
I would need it for the file, for the file if it's presented as evidence.
Is the file accessible by the public?
No.
No.
I believe the file is accessible by the public. I've scanned documents for our reference before.
There
so-
are, what we can do is we have sheets where we can place things that have personal information behind a pink sheet that we put.
For sure.
So the only,
I think
Yeah,
that
and
would
we
be
stick that behind there.
the only
if
thing
there's
you'll have to
any-
watch for then is there's private remarks at the top and then public remarks at the bottom. So anything that should be blocked out are the private remarks at the top.
Okay.
Sorry to cause a bit of a ruckus there, but I just.
No,
have to-
that's fine. You-
So like
you-
this,
yeah.
things like the agents and the sellers and things like that.
We can just give it back to the assessor,
think-
can't we?
Can you-
Isn't
Well, I
that
mean,
the
it's
easiest?
been presented as evidence, it needs to
Well,
stay in the file.
I don't think it wasn't presented as
Especially
evidence.
as it
I
is.
don't-
No, it was
It
just to
is.
answer
No,
a
it was just-
question.
Well, I mean,
handed
it's
out.
still in the record, and
Okay,
it's on record.
well, we'll have to leave it then,
Yeah,
okay?
So you can make a note too.
Yeah,
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 and like I said, we have, sheets where we place
yeah,
the
okay.
confidential stuff at the back of it.
I just have a couple questions, and that is, I guess like they say, one sale doesn't make a market, but it certainly, points in the right direction. All of the subject property and all the comparables have different effective dates, so therefore they've been renovated. So, but we don't really know the extent of the renovations or anything yet. Like, you really, when it says finished basement, it says yes, and we really don't know the extent. Somebody could spend $10,000 and somebody could spend $20,000, so, but basically, I guess, we don't know the motivating factor for the sale price in the 17 for the overage, but obviously, we'll have to conclude, some sort of finalization because of maybe the bidding war, and I would assume that probably happened. So, your presentation now?
May I just ask
Yep.
one more question? Can you tell me, I see that Comp 4 was sold in July of 2017. Do you know when the subject property was sold? I see it's 2017.
But when exactly? I think it was
And
July?
didn't-
July?
Oh, I'm
Well, it'll
sorry.
say on that sales listing, you
Yeah.
guys,
It is
the possession date.
April, or is it July?
It said 04, I thought.
I know,
Oh.
but I don't know how, it says 07, 04, 2017.
So that'd be July.
Is that July?
That'd be July.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Katie.
I remember
Okay,
seeing the 04.
thank you.
So they were sold the same month,
Yes,
and the only difference is one has got a finished basement and one doesn't.
that's the main difference.
Okay. Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Ryan, your presentation.
Thank you, Mr.
Sorry to be
Chair.
so long, but
No, that's okay. It's needed, right? Alright, so,
Thank you.
Just
Thanks,
accept
Kitty.
my crook.
all right, Ryan.
so
So 478 Mark Pierce Avenue, roll number 04-00541-500. We are asking this board to reduce the assessed value from 319,000 to 287,000, as I've indicated on page 2 of my brief. Page 3, I've just provided a map of the subject property. And I'm just going to go through this property description here. So the subject property, it's located on the south side of Mark Pierce Avenue between DeFur Street and Corinne Street in the Rossmere A neighborhood. The improvement is a one-story single-family detached dwelling built in 1959. The site size, according to the City of Winnipeg Property and Taxation Department records, is 6,047 square feet and is zoned R1L. The property, I acknowledge that it did undergo some cosmetic renovations in 2017, including remodeling of the bathroom, the exterior, flooring, furnace, kitchen, and windows. However, my client did mention to me the following regarding these renovations. The garage shingles and most windows were original. The rec room is old with painted paneling and an older bathroom. No new deck, patio, driveway, stucco, or landscaping. One of the previous owners had replaced the original kitchen cabinets with non-custom cupboards and to protect just the business, I didn't want to mention them there. I just felt out of respect for them. It was appropriate to do from a type of store. She says that cheap planking is on the floors, but is unable to determine when it was installed, and they're in rough condition, lifting, etc. So that was just a comment that I had pulled from my client. Ms. Cuffer, out of respect for you, I do apologize. Wasn't able to relay this information to you right away. So no permit for this work is listed in Winnipeg's building permit data, which includes all permits since 2010, meaning the renovations were likely done by the previous owners. So onto my analysis. I'm just going to talk a bit about the sale of the subject property. So the assessor has applied to increase the 2020 assessed value of the subject property based on the sale of the property on July 10th, 2017 for $328,500. The listing price was $299,900, and we do note that the registration date of the subject property is July 26, 2017. So as you can see here, because of personal reasons, my client did require a quick possession date, and that did influence the price that they paid for the subject property. The client did state the following in response to the receipt of the notice of request to increase the assessed value at the Board of Revision. So she says here, again, she reiterates, she mentioned this to us. She mentioned this to us last cycle. I was not involved at that time though. She reiterates that the reason they exceeded the asking price was because we required a quick possession date. To expand on that again, it was for personal reasons that I have not been given permission to disclose at this time. So based on the above, we argue that the sale price of $328,500 should not be considered as an accurate indicator of market value for the home and should be disregarded as the buyers, our client, were atypically motivated. So now moving on to my comparison approach of how I came to my requested value of $287,000. Comparables 1 to 5, all located in the Rossmere A neighborhood. One story, you can see that the ages are very similar. They just range from 1958 to 1961, similar to the subject property, very similar to the subject property. The total living area is the range of the living areas for the comparable sales is 1,036 square feet to 1,066 square feet. All with finished basements, all with air conditioning, all with single detached garages. The lot sizes range from 5,185 square feet to 6,497 square feet. I made note of the upgrades that were done to each of these properties, again, just in the notes section of my chart. And as you can see, the time adjusted sale price per square foot range of, for these comparables is $249.62 to $285.67 a square foot. You can see that this is below the current assessed value of the subject property, which is at $299.81 a square foot. The average time adjusted sale price per square foot of the comparable sales is $267.82, and the median is $270.27. So based on the comparable sales that we have identified, we are requesting this board to reduce the assessed value from $319,000 to $287,000.
I thank you, sir. Questions of the applicant?
Just make sure these are all public sales, your comps, 1 through 5.
They are, yes.
Which would you say is the closest in terms of the interior, the upgrades and the renovations that have been done?
I can't speak to that directly. All I know of the condition of the subject property is what I've heard from my client at this time. I just did a drive-by of the property. When it comes to similarity, I can only compare on the characteristics. So if I were looking at my comps, I would say 200 Macaulay Place and 200 Macaulay Crescent, is what I have 200 Macaulay Crescent is what I have put the most weight on, just because it's similar in size. Ages, they're only a year apart, so.
Okay. That's all, thank you.
I thank you. Security?
Well, the big difference that I see right away, of course, is the comparisons that you've provided versus the comparisons that the assessor has provided. And I think you mentioned that earlier when you were asking him questions. So these are all same size. What is the big difference in the pricing? Excuse me. You've chosen these and they're, $50,000 to $60,000 difference, roughly.
Just observing the notes there, it could depend on the extent of the renovations done. I can see comparables number 2 and 3. They have larger lot sizes there, but they're smaller in size. But to determine the exact influence on it might just be the preferences of the buyer. Mr. Chair, you had mentioned it came down to bidding wars. It appears it might have just come down to bidding wars.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rempel?
I'm just wondering, on this map, on both maps, there is an empty space here on Kingsford, Sharon Bay. I'm just wondering what is located there, which is like a fairly close to the
Like
subject
park or
property.
something,
Is it a park or a school, or does anybody know?
Where's,
Like here,
Where's
this
that?
big, this spot right here.
Anyway, if you don't know, it's fine.
I don't know, actually, no, sorry.
Okay.
And it doesn't show it on the other map either.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions.
We should start marking those on our maps.
What's that?
We should start marking those on our maps.
I mean, it might be a difference if it was a school versus a church, say, you know?
Yeah.
Ryan, I'm looking at your comparables. They're all different compared to, they don't match in regards to the cities. You have all different ones. I noticed, I guess, you have a close range in regards to 1, 2, and 3 that are, you know, they're, you know, fairly close, but the other, you know, the 4 and the 5 are not really. So we'll look at the 1, 2, and 3, and I just noticed that the
Sorry.
second comp is 2,000 sold in 2018, okay? And, you know, after, you know, before adjustment and even after adjustment, it's the same, you know, price per square foot.
Yeah,
So
no, I don't see that.
I don't like time adjustments. I think that, you know, the price per square foot is fine when it relates to current sales, you know, close to the reference date. So I like that. The other thing is, you had mentioned about, I don't know how the quick possession date falls into line in regards to buying the house. I mean, you have the inside information, and I'm not sure whether you can disclose that or not. You know, like, I don't know how that affects the price, you know, other than, you know, you talked about a quick possession date. Well, was it because they sold their house, or what was going on? Can you tell us or not? Or they wanted that specific house, or just tell us a little bit about the motivating factor.
Right, so they were looking for homes within the neighborhood.
Did they live in the neighborhood?
That I am not sure
Okay.
about, but they were losing out on, they were losing in the bidding wars
Yeah,
for other homes that they were looking at.
yeah.
Being able to disclose a personal matter there.
Okay, but I think that is probably, you know, I guess, you know, I wasn't aware of what the market was like, but, you know, you probably were aware of it, and it's summertime, and that's what happens. You know, so we'll just leave it as such. I think that's all the questions that I have. Okay. Did you want to ask him, or you're okay? You're okay? Summation, either party?
No, thank you.
Okay. Let's go on to the last one, which is,
Oh, actually,
oh,
other party. So again, I just want to reiterate,
oh, right, sorry.
yeah, no, that's okay.
Summation, right?
Yeah, I'm just,
Sometimes I do, but.
it's automatic sometimes, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate again, my apologies to this board and to the assessor. I have tried to contact my client almost every day for the past 2 weeks to try to get permission to disclose the personal information there. But again, I can say with certainty that because of the situation that they were in, that they did require a home quite quickly. As you can see between the differences between the sale date, the meeting of the minds, as well as the registration date. They needed that home quite quickly. And again, because of atypical motivation, I still hold that the sale price should be disregarded in this case and is not an indicator of the market value. That's all I want to summarize.
I thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go on to Foxdale, which is the last one, 374. Nathan, whenever you're ready.
374 Foxdale, parcel ID number 040011811700. It's in the River East neighborhood area. It's a two-story, single-family dwelling constructed in 1981. 3,048 square feet of living area, full basement with basement finish, 2 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms with 2 showers. Yes to central air conditioning. Yes, it's got a fireplace, an attached multi-garage, and an in-ground pool. An assessed lot size of 21,477 square feet. Comparables 1 through 3 are all in the River East area. Comparables 1 and 3 are 2 stories, while comparable number 2, you'll notice is a 1 story, but given that it is the next door neighbor to 374 Foxdale, I felt it was worth including. 3 comparables were constructed between 1979 and 1981. Square footage ranging from 2,011 square feet to 2,272 square feet. Comparables 2 and 3 have finished basements similar to the subject, while comparable 1 does not. All three comparables are between 2.5 and 3.5 bathrooms. All three comparables have central air conditioning similar to the subject. All three comparables have at least one fireplace, while comparable 1 has 2. All three comparables have attached multi-garages, and comparables 1 and 3 have in-ground pools similar to the subject, while comparable 2 does not. Assessed lot sizes for the three comparables range from a low of 7,114 on comparable 3 to 21,877 for comparable number 2. Time adjusted sale prices range from a low of 488,300 to a high of 510,000, or time adjusted sale price per square foot ranging from a low of $214.92 to a high of $247.89. The property is purchased by the current owners in 2014 for $650,000, and the 2020 assessment is currently set at $716,000, or $234.91 per square foot. Thank you.
I thank you. Questions of the assessor?
Mr. Cuffer, would you agree, I'm looking at comparable number 2 here, 1 story versus 2 stories. They're not very, in my opinion, they're not comparable. Would you agree with that?
I would agree that the house is not particularly comparable. It was included because it's next door and it's got a nearly identical lot.
Okay. Houses such as, houses of this size, the subject property, from my experience at least, they're generally, would you agree that they're generally located in good locations?
Yes, higher value homes are typically constructed in nicer areas, better locations.
So economies of scale. I see that the comparable sales that you have provided, they're significantly smaller in size. Looking at the theory of economies of scale, you would expect a larger home to sell for a lower price per square foot.
That's correct.
No further questions.
I thank you. Ms. Garrity?
No questions.
Ms. Rumpel?
I see that 378 Foxdale, your comparison to, is right next door to the subject property. And it was sold in November 2017 for $507, but it has no pool, whereas the subject property does have a pool. Is there a certain value that the city would attribute to a pool?
There
I'm
is,
assuming it's an in-ground pool.
it is an in-ground outdoor pool
Okay.
for the subject property, about 500 square feet. Off the top of my head, I don't know the dollar value that's being attributed to it, but in this area and with this value of home, typically higher value homes, there is value attributed to the pool, yes.
Okay, that's all my questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cuffer, no good comparables, eh?
Fortunately not, I wish I could do better for you to make this a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But,
But I see that you've done the property next door, but it's a 1-story and similar sized lot, half-acre lots, I guess, and very hard to find, I guess, in that area. It's a very exclusive area there, so, okay. I don't have any further questions. Ryan, your presentation? Thanks, Kitty. Thank you.
So 374 Foxdale, roll number 04-00011181700. Page 1 of my brief, we're requesting this board to reduce the 2020 realty assessment from 716,000 to 610,000. Going on to page 2, the subject building, it's a 2-story residence located in the River East neighborhood of the city of Winnipeg. The property has a total living area of 3,048 square feet and was built in 1993. The subject site is rectangular in shape with an assessed land area of 21,477 square feet with R1L residential
Did you
zoning.
say it was built in 1973?
1993. Oh, did I?
This one,
No.
I might
This one
have,
says
take
1981.
81.
Yep. That's what I have.
1981, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the subject property, just with regards to what the lot is backing onto, I just pulled up the assessment for that. It looks like it's just green space from what I saw in the city's records. Just a comment on that. So, as you can see already, on page 4 of my brief, Mr. Cooper would agree this is quite unique property. It's difficult to find comparable sales for.
Agreed.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have asked another question. So looking at comparables 1 to 4, I chose sales within the market region. I was trying to find similar lot sizes, similar building sizes. So my comparable sales, years built range from 1981 to 1993. The living areas range from 2,982 square feet to 3,244 square feet, all with basement finish, all with air conditioning. Comparable number 1 has a multi-car garage, multi-car attached garage, and comparable number 2, comparables 2 to 4 have double attached garages, similar to the subject property. Comparables 1 to 3 all have a pool. The lot sizes range from 10,987 square feet to 19,884 square feet. I've just written some comments here regarding the comparable sales in the notes section. On page 7 of my brief, you can see a map of the sales. So again, I was just trying to establish some sort of baseline. I do recognize that they are quite far apart, especially comparables 3 and 4, but I just wanted to see how they would compare to the subject property. So, the average time adjusted sale price per square foot of the comparable sales is $206.75 square foot, and the median is $218.15 a square foot. Now, just observing my comparable sales here, the closest properties to the subject would be 43 East Springs Cove, comparable number 1, and 18 Strong State Place, which is comparable number 2. You can see there that it has a lake view, smaller lot. Again, that lake view would have an influence on there. 43 East Springs Cove, slightly smaller lot than the subject property. So I have placed most of my weight on comparables 1 and 2. Again, comparables 3 and 4, I just want to see how they compare to the subject property. So based on our analysis, we've applied a per square foot rate of $200, which is $610,000 rounded to reflect the current market value of the property as of the April 1st, 2018 reference date.
I thank you. Questions of the applicant?
Yes. 43 East Springs Cove, can you tell us anything about the nature of that sale? Why it seems like such an outlier?
Okay, I have the listing here, just gotta pull it up. Okay, so I could just read out the public marks here. Rare opportunity, over 3,100 square feet, custom built, Arid home on a huge pie lot, large front foyer with granite floors and stone feature wall, formal living and dining rooms with granite floors, and 2 sets of French doors, kitchen with heated tile floors, granite counters, built-in appliances, tile backsplash and island, access from kitchen to large heated cedar sunroom with hot tub, dry bar, and garden doors to tiered deck, sunken family room with open beam ceiling and gas fireplace, large master bedroom with corner windows and 3-piece ensuite bath. It looks like the rest of this just goes on to describe the interior of the subject property. I'm not seeing anything here that's atypical. Appears to be an arm's length sale to me. I don't see anything atypical about the selling price either. List price was $549,900.
Does that one have a sunroom like this, like the subject does?
Yes, it does.
Can you tell us anything about the sale of the subject property itself when the owners bought it?
I cannot know.
Have you been inside the house?
I haven't, but I drove past the property.
The owners make you aware of any renovations that have been done since they took possession?
They have not, no.
Okay. I've got a 40,000 declared electrical permit. That was pulled in early 2019. Demo lighting and plugs in existing basement area, relocate wiring to suit new basement area, adding residential smoke detectors, upgrade the basement branch circuits.
Nathan, that's post-reference, is it not?
No, sir, this is a building permit
Building permit?
for the subject property,
Yeah. What year did you say?
2019.
19?
Yeah, we use the current condition though, and the
Okay,
market date
okay.
as of.
Proceed. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So it appears that they've done at least an electrical upgrade, and then about 2 weeks ago, they pulled another permit, declared construction value of 30,000 for basement redevelopment.
Okay.
I guess those weren't really questions. Sorry, that's all I got.
Okay.
No, that's okay.
Are you okay now?
Yes.
He's okay, he
Nathan,
said.
are you okay?
One more. Can
Yep.
you talk to us a little bit about the upgrades that were done prior to purchase, when the owners took possession of the house?
I cannot know.
Okay. Okay, that's all, thanks.
Ms. Garrity?
My only question is why you would be asking for an amount less than it sold for in 2014?
So when we're looking at comparable sales, we're trying to establish a market value. Yes, that might have been reflective of what the property would have sold for in 2014, but current market conditions could change. We understand that real estate markets, they generally increase, but again, it could be site specific as well. We'd have to look at market and the comparable sales to determine an appropriate value. Again, 43 East Springs Cove, larger than subject property, however, it's sold for quite less. 18 Chauncey Place, I would say that's a good comparable as well. It's the exact same building size. So just looking at those two, we can establish that the subject property could sell within either of those ranges. Again, it's only 2 sales though, so.
Okay, thank you.
I thank you. Ms. Ruffle?
I have no questions, thank you.
I have none either. So summation on either party?
Ryan is correct that we were determining a market value of April 1st, 2018, but I think you'd be hard pressed to prove that the market depreciated between 2014 and 2018 in this area. Like we've stated, it's a very unique property, given the lot size and the fact that it essentially backs onto, the backyard is a park and then it backs onto another park. And according to the permit information that we've received, they sunk a considerable amount of money into the property as well, into the house.
I thank you, sir. Ryan, final word? Thank you.
So,
Anything? Do you want to leave it with us? Okay, okay. I thank you. Ryan, thank you very much for your presentations.
Yes.
Results very soon. Nathan, we just have a little cleanup work to do in regards to number 8. Okay? And for the record, you can read the file number and the roll number and just the value. Okay?
One moment. This is 66 Saxon Bay, parcel ID number 030652488800. 2020 assessment set at $374,000 or $307.31 per square foot.
All right. I think, panel members, any questions at all? Okay.
No.
Okay. I think that concludes our hearing, Nathan, so thank you very kindly.
Thank you.
We'll take about a 2-minute or a 3-minute break here, okay? I'll turn the thing off.